Hello, Crypto Growth fam. Quant Network is hidden in plain sight, but many fail to realize it yet. But the institutions they are involved, the writing is on the wall, and everything is set up for it to become one of the biggest financial players in the space. Look at this. The wealth code is hidden in plain sight. Mr. Frank Anthony here has shared ICP, Internet Computer Protocol, most advanced tech stack in Web3, and over here, QNT. Look at this, founded 9/28/2015, I think September 28th, yeah. Partners BIS, European Central Bank, and Oracle. These are huge names in the world of finance and banking. So, yeah, these aren't coincidences, they are deliberate imprints of energy. If you're talking about energy, Quant Network has energy. Quant Network is full of energy, folks. And why is Quant Network one of the projects that can change the game? In this landscape, folks, where different fundamental elements are happening, developments are happening, all are pointing out towards the moment of crypto, folks. Look at this. Breaking US jobs report misses badly, only 73,000 jobs added. Powell can't ignore this. Rate cuts are coming. Crypto's moment is loading. Throughout the globe, folks, we've seen inflation, we've seen such irregularities, we've seen volatility. Crypto is here to make that change. Look at this. The SEC just signaled it. Markets are going on chain, trillions in assets, tokenized, transparent, borderless, folks. The two T's and a B, TTB over here, tokenized, transparent, borderless. This isn't hype, it is happening, folks. The next financial system is being built right in front of you. It is hidden in plain sight, basically. So you have to choose the right infrastructure plays, and ultimately you'll make it, basically. The institutions will make it, not just us. Let's hope QNT is that right play, the next financial system. And obviously, the entire bloodline will thank you. Do you remember a time when we were little and we saw a real estate or a house that we thought our grandfather or father should have bought? This is that moment. There are multiple investments lying here and there. So you have to choose the right ones, and then your grandson or granddaughter, they'll thank you for it. Look at this. When we talk about institutions, this is the biggest change, folks. We're not even talking about billions, then we're talking about trillions in assets, folks. Tokenization is a $1 trillion industry, and the best part about Quant Network and crypto is that it is transparent, it is borderless, it is global, and it is the sky is the limit for it. Okay, so this is the latest from Quant Network Official. Look at this. The global financial system is undergoing a profound transformation, and it indeed is, folks. We aren't. If you see the news, if you know the world of finance, you will understand that there is a transformation happening at the moment. So it is driven by the rise of programmable money, and the project that is well associated with programmable money, you guessed it right, Quant Network, folks. Stablecoins are at the heart of this shift, but what are they? In our latest article, we cover how they work, the role of stablecoins, and programmable money in changing the world of finance. Look at this. Quant Network has posted this. Stablecoins combine the programmability of digital assets with the trust and familiarity of traditional money. Folks, the best part about Quant Network and its stablecoins are that they are regulated, they will be compliant, they will stand the test of time, apparently. And as far as programmable money is concerned, we know the cbdc's infrastructure that Quant Network is building. And for this, Quant Network is always active. Look at this. always forging partnerships, always going to different events like this. We're delighted to be part of Cybos 2025. If you know, Cybos is huge, folks. That is taking place on 29th September to 2nd October. The Quant team will be on hand to discuss how Europe's banks and payment firms can harness our programmable settlement infrastructure to shift from traditional rails to tokenized money markets and digital assets. So, the world of finance, they do not yet realize the institutions. There are a handful of institutions that realize how huge DLT, how huge blockchain can be. Quant Network's team is always active. They always want the world to know, these European banks, payment firms to know how they can benefit from programmable settlement. And this is where QNT comes into play. The QNT token is going to be the token used in the infrastructure of Quant network, folks. Look at this. The infrastructure and interoperability problem have been hiding in plain sight as Quant network, both of them hiding in plain sight. While DeFi exploded and retail adoption soared, institutional players have been limited to the sidelines. Folks, if you remember the 2021 bull run, what do you remember from it? I remember meme coins, the Shiba Inu run. I remember DeFi exploding, Uniswap, and different projects. I remember play to earn games like Axie Infinity, Metaverse hype exploded. But as you all have seen, the institutions in all of this have been kept to the sidelines. This is for sure, folks, and this is deliberate according to Quant official, not by choice, but by regulatory necessity. We haven't truly witnessed a good regulatory framework and environment where total regulation has taken place. So obviously, we need that environment for projects like Quant Networks to succeed. Look at this. Quant Fusion offers a new way to solve institutional interoperability with the first layer 2.5 network, folks. Awesome. Quant flow brings intelligence to money itself. Folks, if we talk about money, we have seen it as an abstract phenomenon. We've seen it as something that is not intelligent, but with the codes Quant Network is bringing, money will become intelligent, folks. It will become intelligent. It will turn into programmable instrument embedded with code, not spreadsheets. So this will give the banks and fintech organizations the agility without compromising on resilience, compliance, or core stability. This is a quotation from Gilbert Verdian himself. If we stress on these three words, folks, resilient, the current fiat money, as you all know, is not resilient at all. Unlimited supply, and you know that how volatile it is. It isn't compliant to the extent that you can trace everything on chain. Obviously, the regulations, the trust, the traceability, the transparency, all of these will give Quant Network and the utility projects core stability to the financial infrastructure. Okay, look at this. Once crypto hits $1,000 in less than 12 months, 8 to 9x from here, it is game over. The supply shock would shock the world for real. Folks, whenever we talk about QNT, we always talk about the supply shock. The supply shock we talk about it is because the supply is scarce, it is limited, and there are so many institutions that can benefit from Quant Network and its services. Look at this, merely 14 million supply, and the circulating supply is 90%. So almost all of the tokens in circulation, and just $1 billion market cap at the moment. And the potential is, if we compare the potential, it is huge, folks. Look at this. talking about a tokenizer over here and talking about the supply shock. Look at this. There is 200 and almost 200,000 QNT left on spot exchange reserves. There's also 160,000 total QNT holders, meaning if every QNT holder bought 1.264 QNT, the exchange reserves would run dry. I mean, look at this. Just 1.264 QNT, folks, and the exchange reserves would run dry. Once OVL Fusion's QNT demand for RCGs comes, supply drying up with a demand spike. This is what we're talking about. Look at this. 200,000 QNT on spot exchanges, 160,000 total QNT holders. Over Ledger Fusion, RCGs require QNT and QNT with utility. The sky is the limit. Over Ledger Fusion, raising QNT demand via network utility, enough for 1.264 QNT for each holders, folks. Okay, so let's see. This is Mason Black over here. The assumption that there are 202k QNT on exchanges appears to be outdated or inaccurate. We see both sides of this coin, folks. We see all perspectives. We see the perspectives of the maxis. We see the perspectives of the critics. We see the perspectives. We see and hear the perspectives of everyone. So this is another view over here. In contrast to tokenizer. Current on-chain data suggests that exchange reserves are closer to 1.2 million QNT. Okay. Even if each of the 160,000 holders purchased 1.3 QNT, that would account for roughly 17% of current reserves, far from depleting available liquidity. So, folks, regardless of that, the supply overall is limited. 14 million isn't much, folks. It will soon the demand will soon outpace the supply. I think so. Depending on the use case, the developments, the team performance, a lot of different elements and variables need to be analyzed, but the potential is there. That is all we're saying. But I do not know where this data, whom to trust. I mean, tokenizer is saying something, meanwhile Mason is saying something else. So regardless, the supply indeed is limited. A genuine supply squeeze would require a significant combination of large-scale withdrawals by whales and sustained demand spikes, not just average holder accumulation. This is also a logical point over here. But when institutions come into play, when the Overledger is utilized as a platform, I think that it certainly is possible, folks. Tokenizer has replied over here. There's 1.2 million across aggregate exchanges, derivatives, spot, futures. This post specifically states spot exchanges. Okay, so Tokenizer has stated the spot exchange reserves. He's replied it. Okay. What on-chain data are you using? Okay, anyways. Talking about exchange reserves on QNT, it is falling like a rock. Look at this. Here we're talking about spot and derivatives, both of them. Here in the first chart, we got QNT exchange reserves across all exchanges. As we can see, exchange reserve supply has recently hit a new all-time low. So the supply is dwindling. The spot reserves has remained down around 200k total QNT range. Awesome. Things seem to be lining up quite well. Okay, look at this. A significant drop from the 1.4 million derivative reserves at the start of 2025. As a result, the total exchange reserves for QNT now total to just barely 1.2 million QNT. So, okay, so Tokenizer is obviously an expert, folks. So he already knows what Mason was talking about. Reminder, there are a total of 14.881 million QNT, which I told you guys that it is. I do not care whether the exchange reserves are 1.2 million. We must realize that out of 14.881 million, if we minus 1.2 million, most of it is in circulation. Most of it is I mean the squeeze can happen regardless if the exchange reserves are 1.2 million, when institutions come into play, when different stakeholders come into play. Look at this. In other words, 91.94% is off exchanges, while there are only 8.06% left on exchanges. Now factor in the rising demand. If you talk about rising demand, the bull market, we're talking about over-ledger fusion requiring QNT. This is where the use case and utility comes into play. And with that, the incoming release of RCGs and QNT staking. The supply indeed will dry up fast. It is basic supply and demand, folks. So this is what we're talking about when it comes to QNT, folks. Tokenization of assets, modernizing financial infrastructure, programmability and compliance, private sector innovation, safe and inclusive access, cross-chain interoperability and token bridges, public-private infrastructure collaboration. So much that Quant Network is doing, folks. So it is simply it is simple supply and demand that can drive the value of QNT and the use case of QNT forward, folks. So what do you guys think about Quant Network, its infrastructure, the supply and demand of it? I would really like your opinions, folks. So do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways, guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can also support the channel by checking out Patreon by following the link in the description box below. Until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.